it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Guess what? It is green tomato season. It's just absolutely one of my favorite parts of the summer. And that's when green tomatoes are prevalent. What I have here are 2 sliced green tomatoes. And I'm going to fry them up, but I'm going to do them a little bit different than if you are familiar with green tomatoes. I'm going to do them a little bit different than what you might be used to. So, first thing I did, I sliced them up. I like mine a little bit thicker. And I soaked them in some ice water. You don't have to do that, but I just think it actually makes a better tomato once it's fried. So, I got that done. These aren't seasoned or anything because I'm going to season my other ingredients. So, what I've got here, I've got some crumbled up soda crackers, and I'm going to add in about 1/2 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. Now, this is just the Parmesan that you find in the jar. It's perfectly fine for this. So that's what that is. And to that, this is something that's different. I'm going to add some lemon pepper right here. See that? I'm going to add some of that in. Maybe a tad more. And I have, oops, got to mix it up. And I've got an egg beat up with a little water. And I sprinkle a little bit of lemon pepper in that. And I have some flour that I'm going to dredge them in, and I have a tiny bit of lemon pepper in that. I'm not adding salt because salt, the lemon pepper tends to be a bit salty, so I'm not doing that. Alright, I've got a pan here. Got my pan. I did have it hot, but I took it off because it was getting a little bit too hot. So, alright, I'm going to bring that back up to heat. And then in the meantime, I'm going to dredge my tomatoes. Now, first thing I'm going to do, and I think you've probably seen me do this before if you watched the fried dill pickle video, it's the same process. It's just a little bit different ingredients here. So I'm just going to dredge my tomato in there. And then I'm going to put it in my egg mixture here. And then I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit. And then I'm going to add it in the cracker mixture. So let's do that. It's not difficult. My best recommendation is get your dredging station, get that all fixed up and ready to go for yourself. If you have that all fixed up and ready, you will be ahead of the game. Alright, now let's get these covered up, get them coated nicely with the cracker, cheese, and the lemon pepper mixture. Okay, now when you soak them in ice water, when you soak the tomatoes in ice water, it actually makes them firm up a little bit, and they just, I don't know, they just fry up really nice. I've always done it that way. That's just the way I roll. Alright, now, come down. We're going to show you, pop these in the oil. I've got this about medium-high right now. And I can smell the Parmesan. If you don't want to add that, don't add it. If you don't want to add the lemon pepper, don't add it. It's not that big of a deal. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. But you do need this dredging. You do need that. You need the flour and the egg and the cracker crumbs. If you just want to make yours with salt and pepper, that's fine. That is no problem. But I just want you to know that you can add whatever you like. I'm over here doing this right now. I'm going to get some more in. You can add whatever you like. It's up to you. And you know what? Don't be afraid to experiment with some things. These tomatoes actually come from, there's 2 tomato plants that are planted on the other side of my garage. And last year, my neighbor and I, we planted some tomato plants and shared them. We planted them by my garage. And we did the same thing this year. We just planted a couple, some small ones, some cherries, and some larger ones like these. So, she doesn't care for fried green tomatoes, so I get those. Oh dear. Okay. Now, let's just let that go for now, so we can rinse my hands real quick. And I'm going to give these a look. See where we're at. Oh, that looks pretty tasty. I prefer to use the jarred Parmesan for this particular method. But if you want to use the others, give it a try. And you can see where that cheese is. Sometimes it gets a little dark. That's okay. Now, I flip these several times. It's not just flip once and then flip again. I flip them several times because I like to try to get them as evenly golden as I can. And while you're watching those fry up, I'm going to get another one. I'm going to dredge another one here. Don't dread the dredge. Alrighty. So, I'm going to put these again, I think. Can't hurt anything. Just watch your heat that it doesn't get too high, because you don't want to burn them. These will actually cook fairly quickly. Now I know that these here are not done yet. They're not quite golden, and this one I just put in. But I just want to do enough here for my dinner and enough to demonstrate to you how we're doing this. Now, I suppose if you want to brown these, if you have a lot to make and you want to brown them and put them on a tray and stick them in your oven, you can, so that they stay crispy. You can do that, no problem. And that way you can serve them all at once. Otherwise, they'll be eaten up and you'll just keep cooking them, I'm telling you. All right. Another way to serve these is you can put a little bit of marinara sauce on them, put them on a tray, a baking tray, and at the end, and melt a little bit of mozzarella over the top of them, and oh, they're awesome. They are really, really good that way. So see, these are crisping up very nicely. These are getting there. There we go. Now, I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to, well, the ones that are done anyway, I'm going to put them on some paper towel lined, a plate that has paper towel on it, and let them drain a little bit. We don't want them too greasy. And get that one flipped again. Just keep an eye on them. That's all you have to do. Now I have some more here left that I will be frying up, but I just want to show you how these come out. Turn my heat down a little bit lower now. Now then, let's take a look here, and I'll show you what we've got. Don't those look good? And because that's how I do, I'm just going to sprinkle salt on the top. Salt your food to taste, but just remember, salt makes food taste good. I can't help it. It does. Seasoning makes food taste good. All right. Let's take this, and I'm going to put one on here because we're going to taste it. How about if we put 2 on there? And in the meantime, I'm going to give these a quick flip again. All right, see there? Coming along, doing fine. But I've got it turned pretty low now. All right, so here's my fried green tomatoes. Let me grab a fork. I don't mean to seem ill-prepared, but I kind of am because I decided to film this at the last minute. All right, here you go. These are nice and crunchy, and I'm sure they're very hot, but let's give it a taste. See what that looks like? They're nice and soft inside, and they are very crunchy on the outside. Here we go. You ready? Oh. Hot and so good. These are really good. All right, now listen. If I can do this, you can do this. Honest to goodness. And I hope you will give it a try. If you're not growing your own tomatoes and you want to try this, then by all means, either check your local market or find somebody who's growing tomatoes and who's willing to give up a few green ones. They are well worth it. Even if you have to pay them a little bit for it, it's fine. Okay? All right, listen, I love ya. If I can do it, you can do it. And get busy and fry up some green tomatoes. And remember, you can do the same thing with zucchini if you want to, with squash, all kinds of vegetables you can do this with. You can use this method, okay? All right, I love ya. And as always, just remember that little is much when God is in it. All right, I'm going to get to cooking and eating. Love ya. Bye.